Good afternoon and welcome to No Rest for the Weekend. I'm Jason Godbey and we're here on the red carpet for the 44th Annual Muse Awards. I'll be speaking with some of the honorees and guests here tonight, so stay tuned.
Sponsored by Blackmagic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. Blackmagicdesign.com. Western Digital and SanDisk, the global leader in memory cards and SSDs. westerndigital.com. And by JMR Rentals, professional digital cinema and broadcast equipment rentals in Brooklyn, New York. jmrny.com.
I'm here with Tantoo Cardinal. Tantoo, how does it feel to be here and honored today?
It feels pretty special. It's kind of exciting and feels like a very honorable place to be.
What do you think the significance of these types of awards are, and what does this mean to you personally?
To me personally, it means that my work and my walk is being recognized and appreciated. And you never know, in the world of film and stage, you can get it right from the audience, and you go to communities, you go different places, you can get a sense of an appreciation. So something like this is an opportunity to kind of say, yeah.
Of course, you were recently in Killers of the Flower Moon, big hit movie. You were on Echo as well. What else can we expect to see for you coming up this year? I'm going to be going to Nantucket, working with a filmmaker that I worked with back in the day. I did a movie with Rip Torn called Where the Rivers Flow North. And this time it's an adaptation of a George Bernard Shaw play, Major Barbara. And so it's an opportunity to work with a friend filmmaker and to explore a different character. We haven't been off and running for a while now, so it's great. Well, congratulations on everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm here with Raney Aronson-Rath. How does it feel to be here today?
Oh, it's amazing. First of all, I love this group of women who really take all of us from different disciplines in film together. And so for me, it's just an amazing honor at this stage of my career to be thought of as a leader in this way. It's just really great and humbling.
With the sort of TikTokification of media, where does something like your program stand, and what do you see in the future?
I'm really committed to nonpartisan media and journalism, and so Frontline is really journalism meets documentary, so our process is about being fair and vetted, and I think there's got to be more of that in the world. I'm a big advocate for that kind of work.
Do you feel like you're kind of furthering the cause of journalism in documentary, and are long-form docs like you, is that kind of the new in-depth journalism?
I think younger people love documentaries. We found more and more young people coming to our program and our films, and so my hope is that long-form documentaries that give nuance, that have texture and context and are really authentic will bring in new generations. So my hope is that journalism meets documentary, and that's the future.
How does it feel to be acknowledged here today? How does it be a New York woman in film and television honoree?
I kind of can't believe I'm being recognized as a person of New York. It's always kind of been a dream. People always assumed I was from here my whole life, so it feels like it makes sense in some alternate universe. But I relocated here in 2016 to start working on Mazel, and it kind of had that feeling of like, this is home. It's like returning to a planet that I didn't know I had left as a fetus. So it feels good. It feels good to be here.
What's next for you?
I mean, for the most part, I'm right now trying to spend a lot of time with my kids. Mazel was a 6-year project, and I was away from my kids for a lot of it. And it's a big deal. I've got an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I'm now just making a concerted effort to be extremely present, much to their dismay. I'm sure they're like, please go back to work. But I'm also writing and pitching, and I've got a new animated show and a feature film that I've written and gonna move forward to to start soon. But
You want to give us a scoop right now and tell us about it? Where is it at studio-wise or anything like that?
I will not give you the scoop. Nice try, though. But it's a small film, and it's something that I wrote and will be directing and in as well.
How does this feel, and what does it mean to you to be here?
You know, anything with a woman in the title, you know, an award from a group of women is inspiring. I've been doing this a really long time. I've been in this business. I've dedicated, you know, over 40 years to it. And I think that it's just a vote of confidence, like just keep going. You know, I mean, I'm going to keep going anyway, but it's like keep going with a little, you know, cherry on top.
You've been behind the camera a lot lately. Do you feel like, in terms of women in the industry, that there's been progress made there?
I think it's progress. I think we have a lot further to go with women's rights in general, with women's opportunities in general. But I certainly think that there's a lot more directors that are women than when I was coming up in the business. Having said that, you know, what I find to be so hard is that if you do something that doesn't do well as a director and you're a man, you often get a second, third, and fourth chance. For women, that's harder, and you end up in director's jail faster. And so, you know, men tend to fail up. And then they wonder why women are risk averse. So I think there's a lot more to do. We can all do our part, and that's part of what today's about.
For you, next upcoming projects and so forth, do you see yourself behind the camera, in front of the camera, both maybe?
Well, I'm on stage starting April 23rd in an off-Broadway play for the new group called All of Me. It's a romantic comedy. So I'll be treading the boards, as they say. As far as directing, I did an episode of Girls on the Bus as a director. And, you know, producing, directing, looking for my next thing as a director, and I'm available.
I'm here with Linda Powell, who's accepting the award for Fran Drescher. She is the Executive Vice President for SAG. Linda, great to have you here. How does it feel to be here in this mosh pit right now?
It's amazing. I mean, there are about 1,000 gorgeous women in this mosh pit right now. Fierce, beautiful, talented. I'm just excited about the event and being part of it.
For SAG right now and organized labor around the world, you guys went through a strike last year very famously. Hollywood has sort of been in a downturn since that. Some people are blaming the strike for that sort of thing. Have you guys made progress since the deal was signed, and where do you see things moving forward?
Well, first I would say anyone who's blaming the strike for the slowdown hasn't been paying attention to the industry over the past 5-10 years. It's been heading this way. There was overproduction in an attempt to create a business model that wasn't working. They just threw a lot of money at the situation. So there was bound to be, and I think it was planned even before the strikes, there's a reset going on, and where we end up after that is both a challenge and an opportunity. And what I'm really excited about is the unity we have amongst all of the entertainment labor unions right now, to make sure that our voices are a part of this reset, to make sure that as the brave new world gets created, we have a say in what that looks like. We got 14 pages of never before seen AI language into our TV theatrical contract. Each negotiation that we've been doing since then, we've been building on that, we've been refining that, we've been making it specific to the contracts that are in front of us, and I'm excited. We've got so much energy amongst our membership right now that it's a real exciting time to be here.
Do you feel like there has been progress for women in acting and in the industry? And or is it one step forward, 2 steps back like it can sometimes be? How do you see it now in terms of progress, and where would you like it to go?
I think women in labor have made great strides. Our top officers are all women. We're an all-women team at our top. You look at WGA, you look at IATSE, you look at the other unions, our sister unions. There's a lot of sisters in our sister unions. So I think that bodes well for our representation. I think in terms of the media landscape and the stories that are getting told, there's still work to be done. I think that is an American problem, and we're trying to be part of that solution.
So, and you're accepting here for Fran tonight. What would Fran say if she were here?
Fran would say that we kicked ass and that we're fierce, and the secret sauce is patience and time, listening to all voices. She's disappointed she couldn't be here to accept the award. She's very honored. Her father passed away and she needed to be with her mother. I'm really excited to accept the award on her behalf because she deserves it so much.
So, first of all, how does it feel to be here?
New York Women in Film and Television. I mean, I'm honored to be here. They honored Fresh Kills with achievement in directing at the Hamptons Film Festival, so I will love them forever.
So, I've heard the movie is going to come out. Are we doing theatrical release? And tell me all about it. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, Fresh Kills will be out June 14th. It's coming out first, I believe, New York and LA, going wider after that. And hopefully then, streaming. And but it was really important to me to get it out in the theaters.
And Jennifer Esposito, what is your, I know you just finished a big project, but what is your next one? More directing?
Yeah, that's my, it really was something I've always wanted to do and make my own films. And so I've signed on to direct something else. I can't talk about it yet, but also working on some other things that I'm writing that really means something to me. So, yeah.
Do you think this is a trend with more, sort of more stars turning behind the camera, being the masters of their own destiny kind of thing?
Honestly, it's time. It's really time. I'm sorry I waited so long, to be honest. The work, especially as a female and as you get older, you have to do it for yourself because there's like an expiration date on women. And it's like, I didn't agree to that. And I'm not going to agree to that. And I have a lot more to say. And I think that's part of the reason why they like to make us sit down at that point. Because it's at a point where you're like, wow, I see it all now. And it doesn't work for me. And I'm not afraid to go my own road. So I'm glad people are starting to do that. Actors are starting to create their own work.
It used to be that, like, if a woman made a film and it didn't do well, then, like, women directors were out. Like a woman couldn't get a film. Do you think that's still happening? Do you see progress? Do you feel like there's progress?
Nope. No. I would like to say yes, but I can't. And I've been on the other side now for 6 years with my film, and I'm sad to say there isn't progress. There just isn't. There just isn't.
What do you want to see happen in the future?
I want to see more women in charge of really picking the films that get distributed, buying the films that get distributed, greenlighting the films that get distributed. That's where we need the change. It's not in all the other positions. It's the ones in charge, because that's when maybe a difference will happen. But we also, and I was just at a small screening for my film last night, I say this to every audience, we need the audience to show up for independent films. Like, we need it. We desperately need it. And it's not, like I said last night, it's not only about my film. It's about what you're seeing and representation of who you are, who your family is, who you're in your society, your community. It's so important and vital because the people that are picking films is from one limited perspective. And that just doesn't represent us all. So it's so important for the public to go and support independent films.
Now, with Hollywood sort of scrambling and the big studios taking a pause to figure out what they want to put out, people are not going to the movies like they used to. Do you think that's because of a lack of originality? And do you think because that's happening, there's an opportunity now for people like you?
Yes, absolutely. I think, I don't remember, the one thing that I saw recently that I was like blown away was Anatomy of a Fall, and that's not from this country. That says a lot, and it makes me so sad because we've got brilliant talent here. And it's become an algorithm, and who makes money, and it's art is not about that. And you can have both. But I do think it's an opportunity for independent filmmakers, but we need the audience help.
And that's all from the 44th Annual Muse Awards. Thanks for taking this trip down the rabbit hole once again. For more of our content, visit our website, norestfortheweekendpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube, youtube.com/getbehindtherabbit. I'd like to thank everyone who came out to chat with us here tonight and our sponsors, Western Digital, Blackmagic Design, and JMR Rentals. For Behind the Rabbit Productions, I'm Jason Godbey. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.